My name is Adele Penny. I reside in Baltimore, Maryland. In 2014, my house was illegally confiscated, bamboozled, um, bulldozed, taken, stolen. It started in 2014. They put an eviction notice on my door, which was premature. And I fought them until 2018. It seemed like every obstacle that came my way, I could find a law to prevent it. But then when it got to the courts, it was overlooked. It was like that the attorney that had tried to possess my property, she knew that I could catch her. And so did the judge. It was more than one judge working on the case. So everything that I counteracted with her, she fixed it and then took it back to the courts. They had tried to evict me 3 times. The first 2 times, the sheriff that came with them knew that there was a fraudulent deal. The second time they came, they brought state troopers. So, they really didn't care. They were just on the clock getting paid overtime, extra stuff. And now I can't recover. So they've gotten everything that they could get out of me. I'm done. They're done with me. They've got my property. They've gotten the deficiency money. They've gotten everything. They've just completely bamboozled me, kicked me out under all fraudulent documentation. First of all, they said that I was in MERS, Mortgage Electronical Systems. When I tried to get a refi, they put me under that, which kicked me out of the FHA protection that I was under. They sold my house 38 times, which is, I think, a violation of the Trilla Act. They never informed me that they were selling my house. In 2014, this particular lady, Diane Rosenberg, and Associates, which is a real estate attorney, along with Alex Cooper, auctioneers, said that my property was in foreclosure and that I had to move out within 90 days. I complied to a certain extent, and then when I looked at the contract, it seemed kind of shallow. I took it to a paralegal. She looked it over and she told me it wasn't worth the paper it was written on, and these people were starting to steal my house. I contacted HUD and I talked to HUD about it, and they were pretty much on my side. They told me they would get back to me, but they never did. When it came out into all the legalities that the paper trail that they left, the court documents, it said that HUD assigned, had turned the property over to them. They came up with a whole bunch of false assignments saying that that the MERS system had assigned my property, which I couldn't believe. 2011, they didn't assign it until 2015. I did, and I asked for a trial. They granted me the trial, and then they rescinded the trial. That just set me back. A lot of the reconsideration motions that I put in, I do have professional evidence where these people, they did not have standing to give me any kind of modification. They didn't have any kind of authority to do anything to help me keep my property. But what they did is they blindsided me. Now, once I hired my attorney and he pointed out several errors in what they did trying to acquire my property, it was clear that they were falsified documents. They had no rights to my property, but yet and still the judges allowed them to take my property. They ratified the sale. They gave me a jury trial and then they took it back. I think it was something to the fact that I didn't pick a trial date, and I didn't think that was in my authority to pick a date where I would go. I mean, I took my case to the Department of License and Laboring. I took my case to the Federal Trade Commission, and both of these entities sued the very same people that I sued with success. You know,
Right.
I'm homeless now. I have a place to stay, but I don't have my home. It's in the court documents that they couldn't decipher who owned my property, and they just left it at that. The last time I talked to the judge, the last correspondence that the judge wrote before he retired was that the case wasn't ripe enough to make a judgment on. But then this other judge came back and ratified the sale. Diane Rosenberg and Associates were sued class action, and I believe that class action was successful. However, those documents have been, they unpublished them. Somebody got to stand up. I mean, if nobody's going to stand up for me, I got to stand up for me.